There's a lot of people from. There's another Discord channel as well called Gus Gang, if you've heard of it.
Yeah, love Gus Gang. Nice
Yeah,
to see everyone. Nice to see everyone on here.
the representation goes strong here.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm excited to answer some questions.
Yeah, everyone answered some everyone asked like a lot of really good questions. So
Awesome.
as well. Um, but let me just open this into that. Okay, awesome. So, welcome to our second ever Discord AMA with All Things Go. Today, I'm very stoked to welcome Gus Tapperton as our special guest. Over the past couple years, he's built a really impressive music career with his debut album, Where Poly People Go to Read, and now Orca and Orca Deluxe. And it's really exciting that you're here and you're going to be performing at the festival. Lots of cool things in the works. We're excited to ask you questions and hear from all the fans. They're all wondering. For everyone who is watching right now, feel free to chat with everyone else. The AMA question submissions category down below. You can ask additional questions and I'll kind of filter through those. But for now, I just have that you guys already asked. The first question just being I think everyone here kind of knows a lot about your music journey since they've been following you for a while, but some people were curious, what's your earliest...
Sorry, wait, it just cut out for a sec. What did you say? What was the earliest?
What's your earliest memory with music?
I guess my earliest memory with music would probably have to be my parents always played music around the house, and me and my sister would always dance in front of the TV with the music playing, and also my sister was always a really good singer from a young age, so that was probably my earliest memory is her singing around the house. Yeah.
That's so cool. When you first began to make music, was it for an emotional release or more what was your process, I guess, or thoughts with first start?
Yeah, I never really I guess the reason I started making music because I sort of realized I understood arranging things and producing things, and thought that maybe because I understood it, I could practice and become good at it. And it was more of just constant discovery. That's why I started doing it.
This is a question from Wiley Material on Discord. They want to know, who are your favorite musicians at the moment?
My favorite current musicians at the moment, I'm just gonna because there's my favorite musicians of all time and stuff that are still currently my favorites, but I guess my favorite current musicians that are actively putting out music and stuff, one would have to be Spill Tab. They're friends of mine, and they're opening for us on tour this upcoming fall. Spencer, who had opened for us a while ago. I really like Spencer's music. He's putting out a new album soon. That's really good. Junior Varsity, they're some of my other friends that just released an EP that's also really good. Those are some things I'm really excited about that are coming out.
Yeah, those are all great artists. Spill Tab and Junior Varsity's collab, I love that song. It was great.
Oh, yeah. That song's really good.
Yeah, I guess speaking of collabs, Gus Gang Liz asked if you could collaborate with anybody right now.
If I could collaborate with anybody ever right now, who would it be? Well, so I also saw someone in there asked if I was gonna collaborate with Spill Tab, and we're working on that right now, so I'll just say that one. We're working on something, so I'm excited about that. It's hard to I like collaborating on things for certain agendas and projects and things, so it's kind of hard to think any one of my favorite artists, but that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's really excited. The Spill tab and Gus Tapperton tab, that'll be really cool. People also were wondering about your collaboration with Foster the People. How did you and Foster the People get together for the Pumped Up Kick remake?
Yeah, so I basically like a while ago they had said that they were going to release their it's I guess it's sort of like a 10-year anniversary of their first album Torches, which is one of my favorites. And like you know I heard that album before I started making music and was using it in like skate videos and stuff. And so it was definitely a huge inspiration to me. And they were going to have a bunch of like up and coming artists like cover songs from that album, and they asked if I wanted to do it, and I said yes, definitely, I'd love to do Pumped Up Kicks or like another song. And they were like, okay. I hadn't heard from them in a while, and then they were like, okay, like Gus is good to do Pumped Up Kicks, and I was like, yes. And then they were like, and actually, like, we're not doing a big like compilation cover album anymore, we're just doing our deluxe album with a couple unreleased demos, and but Gus can still do Pumped Up Kicks for it. So I was like, yes. And I'm really hyped on that.
Yeah, that's so cool. I'm like, that's like just like a very like iconic song and just great like memories all around for a lot of people. So I think,
Yeah.
actually, like speaking of other projects and stuff that you've been working on, someone asked, Gus Gang Zoe actually asked a little while ago, you were mentioning a project you're working on, a children's book actually, so like different from music. Do you still see yourself going forward with that children's book? I believe Glum from Up.
No, I think what happened was I made this, like, I thought it was really cool, this children's book with my friend Kenzo, who's an illustrator, and one of my best friends, like younger brothers. And it was probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and we kind of made the whole thing. And yeah, I just never went through with it. I also back then didn't have so many people who probably wanted to see it. So I would love to make a new one someday, because it kind of just was sitting on the back burner for too long. And sometimes like projects don't really happen in that way when they're sitting for a while. But I would love to make another one. I feel like that first one was really good practice for the next one. So yeah.
That's like a great point too about like all sorts of, like sometimes you need to like do come up with something else later down the road. But
Yeah, totally.
um, you talked a little bit about like live performances like coming up. This is a question from Blade Gunner. Do you experience stage fright? And what is your pre-performance routine if you have one?
Yeah, so I think this is a really interesting question, because I think every single entertainer has a different view on this, and I bet like the level of nerves stretches really far and wide. I've gone through phases of having a little bit of stage fright, and I think it was really early on I would have stage fright about, really trying to make sure I'm like hitting all the notes and playing everything perfectly, and like everyone's gonna know if I mess up. And at the end of the day, I've learned that if you're playing a show, everyone's there to see you. So I think like the most important thing is to just be giving it your all and not really thinking too hard, and just like giving a passionate performance. So now that I know that, I don't like it. First off, like not paying attention to playing and singing like makes you subconsciously play a little better, because you're not thinking about it. And that's like, I feel like a lot of times playing instruments with your eyes closed is the best like way to play, because you can kind of feel it out, as opposed to like looking and making sure you're hitting everything right with your fingers. So once I learned that, and I learned that like the shows I'm playing mostly that people are coming to, aside from festivals, like the people are there to like see me and my band, and the fact that I have my band on stage and they're like my best friends, and I feel like if we do mess up or something happens, we can all, share that experience together. So I pretty much don't really get nervous like whatsoever anymore. We just played at Lollapalooza, and I've never felt so comfortable like on stage before. And it's also a really big festival. I think I've felt really prepared for it, and it wasn't like one of those things where I was counting down the days, although I was, but I just like felt really prepared. It felt like everything lined up sort of perfectly, and we went out and we did our thing, and it was awesome. So I don't really get too nervous anymore. I'm just excited. It's like you get butterflies, but it's excitement butterflies.
That's cool to hear the progression. Also, I saw you perform Lollapalooza, great, and I feel like everyone in the crowd was definitely like connecting with it a lot. So
cool. Yeah, I was really hyped on that one.
Who are the first artists that you saw in concert?
I have a lot of cool ones that are. I kind of exclude like ones that were small that my parents maybe brought me to when I was a kid, like local things. I kind of exclude those, but like the first show I ever bought tickets of my own to go see was Odd Future at Hammerstein Ballroom in like, I was 14, so it had to be like 2000. I don't know how to do math in my head like that. Probably like 2012 or 2011 or something. And I was way too young to get in, and it was me and three of my friends, and one of my friends' dads was a detective, and I don't know how, like he went up and he like showed his badge and like got us in, and we were like super music heads. Like we knew all the websites to go to find leaked songs, and this was before like Earl Sweatshirt got back from wherever, like he was at like boarding school or something, and like everyone was awaiting his return, and they played at Hammerstein Ballroom, and it was Oldie hadn't come out yet, but it was like leaked, and we knew all the words to Oldie, and we went and we knew all the words, and it was sick. And then Earl Sweatshirt came out at the end, did his verse on Oldie, and it was like life-changing. It was really iconic and life-changing. That was the first one.
Wow, iconic is like the perfect description of that. That sounds like such a cool experience. The fact that you're able to get in, like.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's cool. This is a question from Beanwater. Love the username. Do you have any advice for aspiring musicians, especially ones that are starting out?
Yes, totally. I guess what I used to say was start local, like connect with other people around your community who also make music. That's what I did, and it's just nice to find a community that supports you, regardless of the style of music and like the level of playing. I think that if you're not particularly good at one thing, don't let it discourage you. Just be yourself and like let your inspirations like flow out of you instead of like looking at your inspirations and trying to like mimic too much. And then I guess nowadays a lot of people are always like worried about like, how do I get my music out there, and like how do I get it into like Spotify playlists and whatever. If you're focusing on that, like you're really not focusing on the right thing. I would not focus about that. Just release music. Don't be too like particular with it. If you like use SoundCloud or use YouTube, you don't have to like do an official release for everything. It's kind of nice practice to just see what other people think, even if it's just a couple people. So yeah, that's like what I did, and I felt that really helped. But don't be discouraged. Like it's always frustrating, like learning and trying new things, but oh no, I think my connection got lost, or maybe not. Yeah, that's my main advice really. until our host is getting back, I'll find some questions here. Where do I go to find these questions? Okay, I'm going to the bottom here. Let's see. Gus, what are your opinions on Bushwick? I'm a huge advocate for Bushwick. I live in Bushwick, and I really like it here, and I think it's a really great community, and it's like not as crazy as the city is, and it's quiet enough that I can really like hunker down and make music. Can you guys... Okay, you guys can hear me still. Let's see. What's another one? Gus Gang Daniela says, "Hi Gus, would you do a Zoom with your fans? And will you do a tour in Colombia and other Latin American countries?" Yes, I would do a Zoom with my fans. I've done a couple before where we've Zoomed before like a video release, and we watched the video together, and those have been really cool, and I would love to do more of those, especially when I have stuff that's going to be coming out. But I don't really have like anything coming out at the moment, but I'm working on new stuff. So, and yes, we'll definitely come and tour in all of those places. I've toured, like I've been touring for a couple years, and we've toured extensively in Europe and South America and Asia, and I literally am dying to get back out there, but obviously, you know, COVID prevents us from doing that. So right now I'm starting in the US, and we're going on a tour this fall, which I'm really excited about. You can get tickets to go to that if you know, are out here and able to get there. Someone says, "What grade did you get in 10th grade math class?" It's funny, I remember like exactly the image of 10th grade math class. I had this guy, Mr. Sherman, nice guy, and I was in like an honors math, and then I dropped out because I was like, this is too crazy. Like, I just want to be in not honors math. So then when I dropped out, I was with all the younger kids in, it was like algebra 2 trig or whatever that is, and I was with all the younger kids who were really smart, and I made a couple friends in there, and I probably didn't get a good grade at all. I did pretty not great in school. Yeah. Let's see what else. Hopefully our host can get back on here at some point. What song are you most excited to perform on this tour, and why? From Gus Gang Brutal Doubts. Also, shouts out to everyone from Gus Gang on here. This is like my first time being on Discord, and I didn't really know what it was until now, and it's really like advanced with the video stuff that's happening and all that. It's pretty cool. What song are you most excited to perform on this tour, and why? First Aid has become a really like powerful song, I feel like, when we play it live, and I think me and my band really like performing that song. It's funny, like I didn't expect some songs to like translate live the way they do. Now Palms is one of our favorites. My new guitarist, Sarah, Uh, she plays a guitar solo at the end, and it's mind blowing. It's really awesome, and I love playing that one. First Aid and Palms, and also Fill Me Up Anthem for some reason is just our one of our favorite songs to play. It builds like really crazy when we play it live. Let's see. What else do we have here?
Thanks for answering the questions as my Wi-Fi died. We are now back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I can take you out of the like having to like scroll through everything and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, if I repeat any questions, let me know.
Okay.
We were talking a little bit about like I guess like favorite songs and stuff. You said favorite song you performed. What's your favorite song that you've ever written? This is a question from Alanis.
Favorite song I've ever written. I think that I am really proud of newer songs that I think are, you know, just worked out really well. I'm proud of like Posthumous, one of my new songs, another song Medicine. But there's this one song which is one of the first songs I ever put out for real called Beyond Amends. Actually, it's not one of the first, but it's an earlier one. And it's Beyond Amends, and I had like it's one of the only songs I had reworked for years until it finally came to fruition, and I made like 4 different versions of it. And when I was in high school, we were like selling our house, and we had a piano in it, and I dragged the piano like into the living room across the hardwood floor because I don't know, it was like really heavy. I don't know how I did it. Into the living room because like the natural reverb in there was better, and I was being really annoying, and it left like these huge scratch marks on the hardwood floor, and my mom was mortified. It was like, we're not gonna be able to sell the house, you fucking idiot. So she didn't say that for her, she doesn't really care. But she was pissed at me. And yeah, that song, I like it. When I listen to it, it brings me back to high school and like where I was when I recorded that, and I'm really proud of that one too.
That's cool that it like carries a whole kind of like history behind it with all of that, like those details and the piano and stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. Actually, speaking of like your like newer songs, this is a question from Miss Sparkles. On your song Flatline off your deluxe album, you are repeating like a phrase in the background of the track. I don't know if you already answered this question, but she was curious, what is it saying? How did you get that effect?
Yeah, so I don't know if this is like, yeah, so I sampled some person on the subway just like yell, like singing this opera thing just with my phone, and they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." And I sampled it and chopped it up and made it go with the track because I noticed that they were singing on the 4 chord and the 1 chord of whatever key they were singing in, and I was like, oh, I have this one song that I'm going back and forth between the 1 chord and the 4 chord of whatever key, and I put it into that key and like sampled it, and yeah, it just like really fit, and I love sampling, and I don't do it as much anymore, and that's like what I first started doing when I made music. So yeah, I'm hyped that I was able to like incorporate it in some way.
That's so sick. And random that just like worked out like that. That's cool.
I know, yeah. I try to sample like sounds and things like that I hear outside. Usually it's not someone singing or playing anything. Usually it's just like sounds. But yeah, that one worked out.
In your other new song, Steady, what was the process for creating that instrumental? Someone asked if the drum track was kind of like layered over, or if you played the toms behind the hi-hats. I don't know production terms like that, so I'll leave it to you to explain. But
That's actually a good question because, yeah, basically that drum, sometimes I write in the drum patterns and then I have my drummer come in and we record them for real afterwards. Um, a lot of the album Orca is live drums, and a lot of it is like a drum machine. Then we layer it with live drums. That song is, yeah, just like the live drum beat doing like the, and then the toms we did in the background, which I've been like we did that the toms after the fact, and I've been doing that like more often, kind of just recording the main drum beat and then recording like the other percussive things on the toms over top of it, just to get it a little cleaner. And also, I used to be so particular about like the drums all being like fully played through all the way, or like the guitar playing through, but I think I'm like my natural music making style is kind of just like loops and chopping things up, and so I've been doing it more that way.
what usually comes first, like the instrumental or the lyrics or melody? Many people ask about your songwriting process, so would love to know a little bit more.
Yeah, so it changes from time to time, and now I make it a point to change the approach for each project that I do. So Orca, the process was I wanted to write everything on the acoustic guitar, sing it, write all the lyrics down. The lyrics and the melody and the chords would come at the same time. Write that whole thing, then go in and arrange it and produce it, which is different than what I used to do, which was I would start in the box, do like the chords and the drums, then write stuff over it, or come up with a melody or lyric and then make it a track behind that. So I guess where poly people go to read, I started making the beat first, then the lyrics and stuff. And the You Think You're a Comic EP was more of like a phrase or a melody and then making a song underneath that. Orca was more guitar chords and melody and then lyrics. And then I'm working on like a new album now, and the approach is more I'm coming up with song titles and the outline of the album, and like coming up with chord progressions that I think are different moods and putting them to those song titles, and then like writing a song on top of it, which has been working really well. It's just nice to change up the approach with each new project, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, what inspired the decision to kind of do these different approaches? Do you have like a certain mindset behind it?
Yeah, well, Orca, I wanted things to be like, I guess my thought was like, I don't even want to start producing something out until I can play it on guitar and sing it, and it like I hear it and it's still really powerful, just bare bones. And that was my, I guess, decision behind that. And then the decision behind the new one is kind of just, I kind of just started doing it that way, and then I was like, oh, now everything makes sense, and this like new idea really makes sense to me. So it kind of just takes me time to figure out what makes sense and for like that project. But also, I think I just get a little tired of doing everything the same way each time.
Good for like creative inspiration too, probably, to like vary things up and like
Yeah,
try
definitely. And I want to like, get new things out of me, not the same things. I want to like, I like each project to have a really different sound from the last one. So I think the approach helps with that as well.
No, that's a cool way of looking at it. This is a question from Bobby, or maybe Baby. Are you sick of any of your songs? If you could remake or alter one, what would it, like, how would you change it?
I don't regret any of the songs I've ever written because in the time that I wrote them, that was me making a song to the best of my ability, and I know that, and I can look back and be like, wow, I used to really suck, and now I'm better than I used to be. Or I can go back and be like, oh, this I did something clever there, and this song encapsulates a time for me that I can go back and build off or whatever. So I think a lot of artists like have this annoying thing where they don't like to play their old songs, but I love playing my old songs. I think it's important to see where you came from and how you started. And the only thing is I do get sick of playing some songs live, not because I don't like the song, but because it's a weird like key for me to sing in, or it's like a weird thing for my arms to do when I'm playing. But that's it really. But honestly, all the songs in our set, we probably play like 20 songs now, which is a lot when we do a full show, and I don't get sick of playing any of them.
That's good to hear. The time capsule element of it is an interesting perspective as well. I wonder if a lot of artists like, or if they're, I don't know.
Yeah, I think some definitely do. And also, it's like if like people want to hear those old songs played, it obviously means something to them. And when you made it in that time, like you did something right or wrong, but there happen to be people who think that you did something right out there. So
even like when we were talking about pumped up kicks by Foster the People, it's like that song they probably played like over 1,000 times, but it's like such a special memory for some people.
Yeah, I doubt they're sick of playing that one. Like,
yeah,
they wouldn't be, like cherishing this new deluxe album if they didn't think it really changed the world and meant something. And I think they definitely know that.
Real talk. Actually, so I wanted to ask a little bit about your music videos. Recently, you released a music video for "Sober Up." The effects and like everything were very cool on it. People were curious what the process of making that video was like, and how did you achieve that dancing shadow effect?
Yeah, so unfortunately, I don't have all the ways and means in the world to make music videos the way I would like to make them, but I also think it's important to work with what you have. So these songs on the deluxe album, I didn't really have a budget to make any videos. So like we did that video for Palms, me and my friend Kevin, and Daniel, our DP, and our producer Jeremy, we all just went for it, went to LA, just were driving around shooting stuff, like had not a super set plan, and that was just people really down to make something happen. And then this video for Sober Up, I had asked couple of my friends if they wanted to film this, and they're like, the light in your apartment's not right, like it's like not gonna look good, like the shadow's not gonna be right. And I don't mind hating on my one friend for this, because he definitely was doubting me. And then I just had my sister shoot it on this old 16mm camera that I have called a Bolex, that takes 100-foot rolls of film, and it only shoots 30 seconds at a time. And so I just mapped out this whole schedule of how I was going to do everything. I did 2 takes. I did 1 take of me dancing by myself, just set up the camera on a tripod, like me dancing by myself. I did a bunch of takes like that. I also had choreographed both different sides, me as the shadow and me as the real person. And then I moved all the furniture out and all the pictures, so it was more of just a white wall and floor scenario. I dressed up in dark clothing, and I danced like pretending to dance with myself, kind of. And then I had my friend Dara, who is really sick with like VFX and editing and stuff. I edited it, and I edited the shadow part on top, and then I had him just take the shadow part of me out and like key it out and put it on top of the other thing.
That's such a cool process, and a lot of steps to go into it. So like, props to you and like the rest of the team. I feel like your visuals and all of your music videos definitely like stand out a lot, even like from like the fashion standpoint, the coloration standpoint. It's great.
Thanks.
And actually, like, connects to a question Goji Berry just asked in the chat days ago. But it says, where do you like to buy clothes from on a day-to-day basis, and also like for music videos and stuff? What are some of your favorite items that you own?
Yeah, so back in the day, I used to shop all the time, and I would just be like thrifting and finding old clothes to wear. And I love clothes and new outfits, and I'll wear the same outfit every day for like a week, which is probably gross, and then I'll get sick of it and have to wear something else the next week. But nowadays, I get a little like overwhelmed shopping. There's like I don't like the act of shopping, but I like having new clothes and stuff. So, there's not a particular place recently that I am like getting a ton of clothes. I make like really specific days that I'll plan out with my sister where we'll all just go get a bunch of clothes that me and all my bandmates pretty much like have the same sizes. Like our waist size is like, it ranges from 28 to 30. Like, I'm not even joking. Like it's like some of us are like 28, 29, 29, 30, and like it all ranges. So me and my sister, and we just go get a bunch of clothes like when we're coming up on a tour or like a video, and we'll all share the clothes and stuff, and we'll just go to like wherever, like Uniqlo, COS, like we'll go to thrift shops, we'll go some other like department stores and stuff. But there's not one particular store I'm super like thrilled on at the moment. And then for music videos, I have a stylist I work with sometimes. In the Sober Up video, for example, my friend Brandon, he styled that, and he pulled together like a bunch of stuff, and I made like a mood board of what I was looking for, and he really nailed it.
That's cool. You think you'll do another crazy hairstyle or like hair color soon?
Yeah, I think I was like, there was this length I really liked, kind of like a little longer, that I was really liking for a while, and I don't know what came over me. It was just summer, and I buzzed my head like bald, just because it was comfortable. And now it's starting to grow out, but it's really boring, so I might dye it like just one color or something. I saw people saying they wanted me to dye my hair purple, so maybe I'll do that.
That would look cool. Yeah. I feel like buzz cut is like, or like shaved is good for the summer because it's like
exactly.
And stuff. Purple would be sick.
Yeah.
So as we near the end of this interview, we can ask like some fun personality questions that people wanted to know. This one was kind of funny. So this one is from Ray's Gone. They're referencing your Fuse Mind Massage interview, which for anyone who's wondering, or I guess could you maybe explain to people like that interview? How would you? It's like a sandbox ASMR channel, basically, or no?
Yeah, it's this one particular show they do on Fuse TV that's an ASMR thing. Sounded like a great idea, and I love how it turned out. Sounded like a great idea, but I've never listened to ASMR or watched a video of it, and like they were on Zoom and they were like telling me what to do and stuff, and I know I was not doing a good job. But I looked at the comments a lot. A lot of people liked it, and they were like, he definitely like watches ASMR because it seems like he knows what he's doing. but I did not know what I was doing. And I feel like it's a pretty hilarious video for anyone like who knows me. My girlfriend
Yeah,
was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
she was like, "What?" That's so funny. Yeah, no. This person said if you make a ASMR channel, you should call it Gus Tapperton.
That's good. There's a lot of good puns out there, but for that, that's pretty good. That's a really good ASMR pun.
Someone else asked, this is from Gus Gang Jackson, what's your opinion of the Minions?
Of the Minions, I watched the first Minions movie, or what's it called? Despicable. I don't know. But I watched the first one. I really liked it. I haven't kept up to date with it at all. But I'll give it a shot.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
And then, do you have a catchphrase? If so, what is it? It's from Gus Gang Zoe.
I have a couple words that I say, not really catchphrases. I say the word humor to describe anything that ranges from funny to interesting to strange to awkward. I kind of use it as this like this big phrase that kind of can describe anything. I'm like, oh, that's humor. Like, if I try not to use it if it's something that's sad or disappointing, but if it's something like interesting or weird or funny or awkward, I just use that term.
Something peculiar.
Yes, yeah.
Another question from Gus Gang Jackson. What are your favorite and least favorite emojis?
One of my least favorite emoji is probably like the shit emoji. I don't know. It's probably my least favorite one. And then my favorite one, there's this one like yellow face emoji where it's just like, it looks like a little Pokemon that has its tongue out, and it's like, it looks different from the other like big yellow face emojis. I don't know. It's like has tiny little eyes and its tongue is out, and it looks like a Pokemon. I like that one.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about now. For a second, I was like, which one is that?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a good emoji. Speaking of technology, do you use a mouse pad when using the computer? What's your words per minute when typing? Someone for this.
That's a good question. I am a really fast typer. I don't use a mouse pad. I use the pad on the MacBook Pro. I've tried both. I think a lot of like bigger studios always use like these crazy mouses, and in reality the fastest way is just on your like little keypad on your like laptop. I feel like it's just such a faster workflow, and you don't have to reach to different places to do everything. I'd say I'm a pretty fast typer, but I go back and like reread things like so much, so it still takes me a while to like get things done when I'm typing them out.
Feel that. Thanks for answering these personality questions too, and all the questions before. Taking the time to hop on Discord and talk with like the listeners, everyone from Gus Gang. We can end on this final question, which is just like looking forward to next. What are you most excited about?